Have you ever noticed something strange? You spend 30 or 40 yuan on a movie ticket and think it's fine. After all, for 2 hours you get a big screen, sound system, air conditioning, and a seat. However you look at it, it doesn't seem especially expensive. But then you walk over to the concession stand, casually grab a bucket of popcorn and add a Coke, and the price may come close to the ticket itself. Sometimes it's even more expensive than the movie ticket. What's even stranger is that you clearly know a bottle of drink at a convenience store outside costs only a few yuan, and corn kernels and syrup are not exactly rare commodities. But once you're at the cinema, you still find it very easy to pay. Especially when you go with friends, a partner, or your children, buying a combo somehow becomes part of watching a movie. The movie hasn't even started yet, and you've already spent another round of money. So here's the question. Why do movie tickets not seem outrageously expensive, while popcorn and drinks are priced so absurdly high? Many people sum it up in one sentence: cinemas are greedy and their snacks are overpriced. That explanation feels satisfying, but it doesn't get to the heart of the matter. What's really worth understanding is that a cinema is not simply a shop that sells movie tickets. It's more like a consumption machine that draws you into a closed environment, then raises the average spend per customer through high-margin concessions. The core twist is this: movie tickets are not necessarily what cinemas most want to sell you. A movie ticket is more like the entrance that brings you into the setting. Popcorn and drinks are where cinemas can truly hold on to profit. First, audiences tend to assume that all the money from a movie ticket goes into the cinema's pocket. When most people buy a ticket, they instinctively think, I paid 40 yuan, so the cinema earned 40 yuan. But that's not how it really works. Box office revenue has to be split among many parties. The production company, distributor, cinema chain, individual cinema, ticketing platform service fees, taxes, each takes a slice of the ticket price. The cinema certainly gets money, but not in the way many people imagine, where the entire ticket price is its revenue. Especially with popular blockbusters, the production and distribution sides often have stronger bargaining power, leaving cinemas with a limited share. More realistically, running a cinema is a heavy-cost business. It is not selling a virtual product online. It has to rent a large commercial space, renovate screening rooms, buy projection equipment, maintain sound systems, screens, air conditioning and seats, schedule staff, and pay utilities and property fees. Even if only 10 people come to watch a movie today, the lights still have to be on, the air conditioning still has to run, and the rent does not automatically get discounted just because attendance is low. This determines that although ticket revenue is important, it may not be particularly comfortable. Box office revenue is like a river, large and highly visible, but too many people have to split it. Concessions are like a stream. Not everyone buys them, but the margins are high, and the money flows more directly into the cinema's hands. So you see an interesting structure. The movie itself is responsible for attracting you to the venue, while what often thickens the cinema's profits are popcorn, drinks, combos, and similar items. Second, why do cinemas have to make money at the concession stand? Because cinemas operate in a naturally low-frequency consumption scenario. You can't go to the cinema every day the way you might buy milk tea. Most people watch a movie once or twice a month, or even once every few months. For a cinema, getting a customer through the door is not easy. Since you're already there, it has to increase the amount you spend on that visit. This follows the logic of many commercial spaces. Businesses don't only care about whether people come, they also care about how much each person spends after they arrive. A movie ticket gets you to the door, but once you enter the cinema, your range of choices narrows. Leaving to buy water downstairs may make you late. Taking a child out and then coming back is troublesome. And on a date, saying, let's go outside and buy cheaper drinks, can also ruin the mood a little. So cinemas place the concessions area somewhere you must pass through, usually along the route for ticket pickup, ticket checking, and waiting. You first see huge popcorn buckets, bubbling drink machines, illuminated combo menu boards, and smell hot dogs. This is not random placement. Before you enter the screening room, while you are waiting, hesitating, bored, and still outside the auditorium, it gives you a very convenient reason to spend money. You think you're buying snacks. In reality, you are paying for convenience, atmosphere, and ritual within a closed environment. Third, why popcorn in particular? The almost perfect, high-margin product for cinemas is popcorn. Its raw materials are cheap. Corn kernels, sugar, oil, and packaging buckets do not cost much individually. It is easy to make, can be produced in batches, and does not require complicated cooking skills. Its aroma spreads strongly, filling the entire lobby once it is made. It looks large in your hands and gives a sense of substance. It is relatively controllable in terms of eating noise, unlike potato chips. It doesn't fill you up too much, but you can keep eating it. Sweet and salty flavors also stimulate your desire to drink something. More importantly, popcorn and movies have been tied together over a long period into a kind of ritual. You don't buy it because you're hungry. You buy it because watching a movie just feels like something you do with a bucket of popcorn. This is the most powerful part of commercial design. It turns a high-margin product from a snack you may or may not buy into part of the complete experience. Once a product becomes part of the experience, price sensitivity drops. If you saw a bucket of popcorn selling for 30 yuan at a supermarket, you might think it was ridiculous. But in a cinema you think, since I'm already here for a movie, I might as well get one. Your point of comparison is no longer corn kernels outside. It is the total cost of this date, this time with your child, this weekend entertainment. Drinks follow the same logic. Syrup, carbonated water, and ice cost very little, but what the cinema is selling is the guarantee that you won't be thirsty during 2 hours, the pairing of something to drink after eating too much popcorn, and the psychological comfort that the combo seems like better value. Fourth, how do combos, size upgrades, and second item discounts gradually raise the average spend per customer? When you go to the concession stand, you rarely see isolated prices like popcorn 30, drink 20. What you see are combos, single-person combos, two-person combos, family combos, couple combos. Their purpose is not simply to give you a discount. They help you make a decision and push your spending from one single item to a set of products. If you only wanted to buy a bottle of water, you might be done after spending a dozen yuan or so, but the menu board says, add a few yuan to upgrade to a large, add a few more yuan for an extra bucket of popcorn, get the second drink half off, the two-person combo is better value. You begin to feel that not buying the combo would be a loss. This is the magic of relative pricing. A business does not necessarily need to make you feel something is cheap. It only needs to make you feel it is better value. Small drink is 20, a medium is 23, and a large is 25. Most likely, you will choose the large because you feel it's only a few yuan more. But for the business, the extra liquid in the large cup costs very little while you are paying real money. The same applies to popcorn. The cost difference between a small bucket and a large bucket may be far lower than the price difference. Larger packaging makes you feel you are getting more, but in reality, it pushes you from possibly not buying at all to buying, from buying a small portion to buying a large one, from one person buying to two people buying a combo together. This design does not rely on force, but on smoothness. It gets you to accept a higher price within a few seconds, and each step does not seem exaggerated. You are not suddenly spending dozens more, you are just adding a little, upgrading a bit, and thinking, since I'm already here. The most powerful charges in business often do not make you feel a sharp pain. They make you pay a little more without noticing. Fifth, why don't cinemas want you to bring outside food in? On the surface, the reasons are hygiene, safety, smells, and maintaining order during screenings. These reasons are not entirely unreasonable. If you bring hot pot, durian, or a pile of noisy packaged foods, it really can affect other people. Cinemas need to manage a public space and avoid losing control of cleaning and safety costs. But commercially, there is a deeper reason. If everyone could freely bring in drinks and snacks from outside, the high margins of the cinema's concession stand would be punctured. You could spend 5 yuan on water and 10 yuan on snacks, and then the cinema's drinks and popcorn priced at over 20 or 30 yuan would lose their advantage as part of a closed environment. So the essence of no outside food is not only about maintaining order, it is also about protecting the pricing power of in-venue consumption. There is no need for conspiracy theories here. Many commercial spaces operate this way. Airports, theme parks, concerts, and scenic areas all charge higher prices than outside. The reason is not that the bottled water inside suddenly becomes higher quality. It is that you have entered an environment where your alternatives are reduced. You have already bought a ticket, queued, passed security, and entered the venue. The cost of going back out to buy something becomes higher, so vendors inside gain stronger pricing power. Cinemas are the same. They are not selling a bottle of Coke. They are selling a bottle of Coke that you can get right now in a time and space where it is inconvenient for you to leave. Sixth, whose pocket does the money come from, and where does it go? The money for a movie ticket first comes out of the audience's pocket, then passes through multiple links, including ticketing platforms, taxes, cinema chains, individual cinemas, production companies, and distributors. There are differences depending on the film, region, and cooperation model, But the core point is this. The cinema does not keep all the box office revenue. Concession revenue is much simpler. When audiences buy popcorn, drinks, and combos at the cinema counter, after deducting raw materials, labor, wastage, allocated rent, and operating costs, a larger share of the remaining profit stays within the cinema system. In other words, box office revenue is a pot split among many parties, while concessions are a profit pool that cinemas can control more directly. This is also why some cinemas offer membership cards, stored value cards, combo vouchers, and add-ons when buying tickets. They are not selling things in isolation, but building a closed consumption loop. You buy a ticket and add something on. You wait for the movie to start and see the concessions. You sign up as a member and get a discount. You come back next time and keep spending. The movie brings you in, concessions make you spend more, and membership makes it easier for you to return. Seventh, why is this system hard to notice and hard to escape? Because it does not make you feel robbed. It gives you choices, and every choice seems reasonable. You can choose not to buy popcorn, right? You can choose not to buy a drink, right? You can eat before coming, right? So it does not feel like a mandatory charge, but like voluntary consumption. Precisely because it is voluntary, it is hard for you to become strongly defensive toward it. But its power lies exactly in the fact that it places this voluntary choice inside an environment that is very good at influencing people. You are not sitting at home calmly comparing prices. You are on a date, under the expectant gaze of your child, watching the countdown before the movie starts, standing in front of the smell of popcorn and the illuminated combo boards, making a decision in an atmosphere where everyone else is lining up to buy. People do not consume only according to price lists, they consume according to scenarios. In a supermarket, you are a rational buyer. In a cinema, you are an experience buyer. What you are paying for is not a bucket of popcorn, but the money to not spoil the fun, the money for a sense of ritual, and the money to save yourself trouble. What is even harder to notice is that sometimes the movie ticket itself lowers your guard. For example, you manage to get a discounted ticket and think, today's ticket is only 29.9 yuan. What a good deal. Then you arrive and buy a 58 yuan two-person combo, and your total spending suddenly goes up. The low-price ticket gets you through the door, and the high-margin concessions make the total bill bigger. What you remember is that the movie ticket was cheap, while you overlook that the entire entertainment outing was not actually inexpensive. Eighth, how should ordinary people understand this trap? First, don't interpret this as I should never buy cinema popcorn again. If you genuinely like that sense of ritual and are willing to pay for a date, time with your child, or a relaxing mood, of course you can. Business is not only about being cheated or not being cheated. The key is knowing exactly what you are paying for. You are not buying corn or sugar water. You are buying convenience and atmosphere within a specific setting. As long as you understand this, you won't be led around by the idea that the combo is better value. Second, before entering a cinema each time, ask yourself one question. Am I here today just to watch a movie, or am I here to buy the entire movie-going consumption experience? If you are just watching a movie, then eating beforehand, bringing permitted water, and reducing impulse add-ons can keep your spending under control. If you do want to enjoy the full experience, then include popcorn and drinks in your budget, instead of being surprised afterward and asking, how did I spend so much again? Also be wary of upgrades that are only a few yuan more. In business, a lot of average customer spending is built up through just a few yuan more. A large drink is only 5 yuan more, the combo is only 10 yuan more, the second item is half off so you get another one, and in the end, what you spent extra is not just a few yuan, but an entire set of inflated consumption. Finally, understand a bigger pattern. In many businesses that appear to sell a core product, the real money is not necessarily made from that core product. Cinemas appear to sell movie tickets, but profits may come from concessions. Printers are cheap, ink cartridges are expensive, games are free, items are expensive. Flights are cheap, baggage and seat selection are expensive. Coffee is not just coffee, it also sells space and a sense of identity. Once you understand this, you will realize that the most common method in modern business is not simply to put a clear price tag on something and sell it to you. Instead, it first uses an entry point to bring you in, then slowly increases your total payment through add-ons, upgrades, combos, and convenience within the scenario. So the fact that movie tickets are not expensive does not mean watching a movie is cheap. The fact that popcorn and drinks are expensive is not simply because they cost little but dare to sell at high prices. The real answer is this. Cinemas turn movies into the entrance, turn the screening room into a closed environment, turn popcorn and drinks into high-margin experience products, and then use combos and upgrades to push up your average spend little by little. Next time you stand in front of the cinema concessions stand and see that huge bucket of popcorn, you can still buy it, but you will know it is not just a snack. It is one of the most elegant gears in the entire profit structure of the cinema. Once you understand this gear, you have not only understood cinemas, you have also understood the money-making machines behind many consumption scenarios. If you like content like this that does not scold people or resort to conspiracy theories, but simply breaks down business mechanisms and money flows, you can keep following me. In the next episode, we'll continue dissecting those money-making systems that you think are just everyday consumption, but were actually designed long ago.